seemed like we were picking up the bigger fish in the morning when we had a bit of a. It wasn't really windy at all, but it was at least there was a little bit of a chop, right?
Yeah, what they call a walleye chop. Just like ripples and stuff to break up the light pattern and help make a little more noise, hide the engine noise from the boats and stuff in the water. So they'll come up and a lot of species have a tendency to come up and feed more at dusk and dawn. And so that's why a lot of people like to go out early and go fishing. They get a rush on the bite early, and then might pick up later in the day if it gets choppy or nasty. Wind changes and hatches coming off on the water that bait fish move up on, and naturally all the other species feed on those.
Yeah, once the sun came up and the wind died down, it seemed like almost 80% of the bites were on the two downriggers with the worm harnesses.
Yes, probably tendency is they get down away from the sunlight and wait for forage to come by. That's an easy ambush.
You know, we had a couple knockdowns off the downrigger where you were surmising that probably was steelhead going after the spinner versus the actual worm on the hook.
Yes, you can. That's my theory on that, because I've caught fish in situations where a lot of that's happening, and all of a sudden they got a face full of hooks that's not in their mouth. So they're coming up slapping at either at the spinner bait, or they might be coming up and trying to hit the bait and knock it out and make it easier to swallow. Knock them senseless.
We did get that one steelhead on the slider. That was a Yale lure.
A Walleye lure.
Walleye lure.
Yeah, it's there's somebody up in Canada that designs those and hand paints them all, I guess. And they're a very, very good lure. They're expensive, but they work very well.
Yeah.
The hooks are a little weak for steelhead and lake trout. As you see, they were bending the hooks, and we have one that hooks broke off on.
Right, yeah. We probably had several steelhead bites today.
Definitely.
That one that came off where the hook was bent, and then
then you had the lead core that snapped.
Yeah, then the lead core snapped on that one. It went incredibly aerial. I mean, I didn't know a trout could jump that high.
Oh, they do.
He looked like he was 6 feet out of the water at least.
Oh, easy.
Yeah.
They can jump. You know, if they're hurting and trying to shake a hook, they'll be surprised what they'll do to try and get off.
Yeah. When is the best time to fish in the main lake for steelhead?
Spring and fall. If you're targeting walleyes, so you'll get different species coming in at that time. Everything's in transition. They're coming in, getting ready to run up the creeks and do their wintering or spawning, whatever species you're talking about.
Yeah.
You got brown trout, steelhead. You have some cohos that are actually spawning in creeks, and have some of them surviving in Lake Erie. And I'm not sure if any other states are still stocking or not, though.
You hear so much about people fishing the thermocline for walleye, and when you don't have a well-developed one, what do you do? Just stagger the depths of the lures, and because the fish are somewhere, right?
Predominantly, when the fish are going to be scattered. That's why you put a fillet of, like I said, that soup bowl in back of the boat. If you have a target area where you're catching more fish, you can adjust your slide divers up or down to that, or the downriggers up to the slide divers. Add more weight to your lead core, or put deeper lead core out if there's patterns showing that they're at a desired depth. But pretty consistently all year, I've been catching my fish in a varying depths. Like today, we started out, we caught stuff up high.
Yeah.
Then I went to the midday towards the end, pretty much off the riggers, not much off the divers. But then we got that steelhead up on the board on a lead core with a 6 color, which is about 30 feet down.
Right. And we weren't marking anything when that fish hit.
No, we didn't.
The steelhead that we did get, we went through a huge cloud of bait when that fish bit.
Well, they like to surround bait and wait for one that doesn't look right to ambush an easy prey. I would probably wait till I know they're on their run to try and go up the creeks and stuff, and I would troll the mornings right out in front of bigger creeks like Cattaraugus Creek and Canada Creek, Silver Creek. You know, get out in front where you can troll, and because they'll stage out there and waiting for that right sensory of what they're looking for in water temperature, whatever it is that they're smelling. They want to go up the creek after.
Mm-hmm. How long?
I would troll spoons,
yeah,
and maybe
spoons.
small spinners.
Okay. How long have you been fishing Lake Erie?
Oh God, I probably started fishing Lake Erie, I want to say about the mid-'80s. Before that was strictly Lake Ontario, St. Lawrence River, and just ponds and small inland lakes and streams.
You've been guiding for about 20 years?
21 to be exact.
21.
Yeah.
Yeah. How many trips a year do you typically run?
Well, I haven't really developed what I'm doing because I just recently retired in the past couple of years, and it was a slow start. Because I didn't retire because of age. I retired because I needed a replacement hip. So the first 2 years were, kind of touchy. There's people that thought I retired from everything. The customers I had that were pretty regular customers, and they're just starting to trickle back now. But my best year was probably about 21 charters because I worked as a laborer. And I'd have to see who I was working for to see if I could do trips on Saturday and Sunday or just Sundays. Because there's a lot of those jobs you were working 6 days a week. If you're looking to get into boating and fishing, I have a lot of people that book charters with me. My boat is an open book. You ask me any questions you want, I'll answer them. You want to learn how to fish for walleyes, salmon, trout, I don't hide nothing. You can look at my tackle boxes. I would say for Lake Erie fishing in open water, probably mid-June until mid-September. September can get really sketchy because if you have one of these hurricanes that blow apart and send a super low through here, it can send the fish nocturnal real early. I've seen it go nocturnal as early as the first week of September years back. But we've been having pretty good seasons for the past several years. And the walleye fishing's just been tremendous.
Yeah.